I'm gangster like Jesus. Because dreams are hard to come by, and life is only granted to those who take it by force. So I dream away like the heart of a child, because life's too short just to live it for a minute. So I decide to make my playgrounds bigger, laugh a little deeper, love a little harder. And I know that means I might get hurt sometimes. Knee scabs and scars don't make the most beautiful bookmarks, but they say something. I was here. That means a lot in days like these where it seems that things are falling apart and people find it hard to believe. Beat down by the constant 9 to 5 and traffic jamming their way through existence, just trying to find a way to make it through another day. I know what it feels like. I've had my share of headaches and heartbreaks trying to figure it all out. Missing that certain something and wondering where I lost it. Not sure who I was, but tired of being nothing. I was a misfit, looking in the mirror, never satisfied the guy staring back at me, because back then, it was never cool to be the preacher's kid that went to private school or the black boy that loved books more than basketball. Back when being called smart was an insult, I held on to dreams so tightly that I never really had the chance to grasp fear, even when I was trembling. And those dreams took me to the day I found my spirit dance. I learned it from a woman who taught me. We were all born with God, tattooed in our veins, and I believed her. Now I can honestly say, I'm not afraid of the monsters in my closet anymore. In fact, I'm as bold as an open letter from freedom to the Bush family that reads, I'm as cool as a Kennedy, but you can't kill me. I've got 2 balls and a heart of gold. So you may have noticed that I have a certain swagger. In Texas, we call that walking. And I can't stop thinking about the possibilities. I'm not asking for much. All I want is love, peace, and rock and roll. Maybe a side order of Purple Mountain Majesty. And I'm real picky when it comes to food and women. But I'll eat anything organic, especially love. That's something we can all use a serving of. I got the recipe if you'd like to try it. It calls for a dose of somewhere over the rainbow, pure imagination, and down the yellow brick road. Sprinkle mustard seeds as needed, but I gotta warn you, all your wildest dreams might come true. So, if you're willing to take that risk, close your eyes, count to 3, come with me, and dream away. And what will go up is the greatest demonstration of imagination in history. Do it whenever necessary and as often as possible. In the face of scoffers, live as if your heart is open, kiss as if your eyes were open, never surrender. Search for them relentlessly, like you're waiting to give birth to a nation and you gotta get out of this town because you're searching for a city not made with hands. Dream away like every bruised eye and every chipped tooth was worth it. Because they couldn't stop you from reaching this moment in time. Like the whole world is against you and you gotta take it too far just to make it, and in case you ever forget it, you've got a birthmark called a heart to remind you that life is pain. So you gotta fight for every breath and tell death to go to hell. Because sometimes the only way out is up. So dream away like Gandhi. March into the sea to make salt like let there be light. Like gods who have found their motherfucking saviors. Because impossible is not an option. All right.
It's not the question, but solutions contribute those who seek knowledge. And most poets play politician, just listen to how they dance around subject matter, which is the main ingredient when it comes to creativity. Now, if you can judge a book just by sniffing its tables of contents, that's some trick, but convicts get additional time when they undermine fine print. And although I'm a magnet for speculation, I've spent enough seasons to dissect ignorance. See, most poets want you to be mindless zombies. They need you to be Abercrombie's bitch and support causes that don't have your best interest in mind. You're the key that solves their problem. There's a market for targets and they aim to keep you in their sights. Just praise everything they write and they won't talk about you. They won't place you before their firing squad of similes trying to make your life harder. But I'm the resistance. Just spit one sentence about my commitment to spoken word, watch me talk you into existence. Your logic's been buried for 64 years, yet you tried to resurrect it. But what can the dead teach me? I guess it's easier to correct than compliment, for instance. The very instant I metaphorically comment how the shorthand is no more important than the long, they're in the corner writing how to augur me wrong. As long as he feels it gives him something to fight for, then his life has purpose. Just write a song about it. Hook it to a beat and push it on the streets, name it doubt. Give it a dance and watch your fans congregate. Give him a chance to be famous. Act like Andy and Amos. Picture the coonery, now frame it to memory. See, I'm not an activist, but I'll prove stage plagiarism exists. And most poets want to be judges like critics got to get into showbiz, but once you top the Billboard charts, can you take the criticism? And me checking this mic was never on my bucket list, but I take everything I do serious enough to castrate anything that attempts to rape or fuck with this shit. Honestly, most poets get nervous when they have to speak before me. You see, I've got an arsenal of stories and convictions in whether category 8s or 9s. I don't rely on scores nor time to define me. I flow off natural energy so I can sense it getting tense in here. But that's how kids act after throwing subliminal jabs to the Facebook. They get mad when I hit them with the consequences. They look sad when I catch them off guard, leaning back on their egos. And I have no regrets because remorse comes from those who feel they've done something wrong. So how long will you play innocent? The man who recognizes his mistakes is ready for God's forgiveness. You've got your malpractice backwards. First, earn some seniority. How can Bow Wow growl at Snoop? I hate stooping to your level, but nothing has ever been accomplished with tears and men fear what they don't understand, which makes me a force to be reckoned with. And since I'm a Texan, I reckon I'ma start wrecking shit. Just keep causing conflict with your third eye closed now. Just because you name yourself something dramatic doesn't mean you have to practice being that stereotype. Because if I tried that, my epitaph would read, "Here lies Mr. Been There, done it twice." But they want me to believe I'm deep if I write like people don't smile no more. Every single individual I've heard speak or spoken to is unique to me. I'll never seek fame. My question has always been, what's a star amongst the galaxies?
So ladies, yeah. Ladies, you know those jeans? The ones that fit perfect around your waist and hips to make your ass look real big? Some of y'all in here, I see y'all. But they're like expensive though, like you gotta get them from like Nordstrom's, you know? Which is like, you know what? I worked hard for these. I deserve them. And so you walk around the store for like 2 hours and 37 minutes with these jeans draped neatly across your wrists, then you feel the buyer's remorse burning a hole in your pocket. And so you leave them there, all lonely and stuff. She made me feel like those jeans. Dear Alicia, I hope your clitoris falls off in the toilet. I hope your nipples turn green. I hope your next boyfriend has a penis the size of a crayon. As I trace back across the 7 years that I wasted chasing you, I wonder how many worthy women I passed that would have welcomed me with warm, waiting hearts while yours was winter for me. You must have a deep freezer for a chest, you cold bitch. I loved you with every ounce of plasma in my body. And I watched you cut my heart clean out of my chest and then hurl it into the 635, you know. I still remember the day that I swallowed my pride and I poured "I love you" from the pit of my stomach. And I still remember the allergic reaction you had to my words. I even think you threw up in your mouth a little bit. I never knew that love could make you physically sick when it is gift wrapped and offered to you, or when it is resting in your mailbox marked "Return to Sender." I never knew that love and anthrax were sisters. To this day, I still can't believe that you broke up with me through a text message. Did you know that I walked around my mother's house singing "You're Beautiful" by Carl Thomas for 2 days straight in my bathrobe? How dare you reject my heart, but then turn around and soak my shoulder with tears custom made for another man? When all I ever wanted to do was make you happy, make your lips spread before your legs, make you smile wider than the Grand Canyon so no man without a cape could cross them. But I am tired of being your Captain Save-A-Ho. You better listen close, because the next time you run across my mind, I'm going to stick my foot out. And I'm going to watch you trip over every excuse you gave me about why we shouldn't be together. This poem isn't for you. This poem is for us, the good guys. Yeah. With superhero capes concealed in our conversations and gentlemen draped across our shoulders. Brothers, I see y'all. Okay? Brothers, beware of these dangerously beautiful butterflies that are pretty to look at, but never want to be caught. There lies a black widow beneath her blush. A man-eater masked in her mascara. Those highlights hide a hydra head hunting. She will feast on your innocence and suck your soul through your penis. No matter how beautiful. It's true, man. I know how hard it is to hate an angel. I know how hard it is to hate an angel. Even when her name is Lucifer. But to be honest, Alicia, I couldn't stay mad at you if I wanted to, y'all, because there's this thin line between love and hating all of us toward constantly. You see, I believe that even the trifling deserve love. So when I see you and your husband in the mall, I promise that I won't try to punch him in the face. Rather, I will bask in the fact that men don't take half the time that women do in shopping. And this time, I'm the one who found the perfect pair of jeans.
It was a rainy day in May 2002, and I was to interview an ex-con named Jesse. Just a few weeks before his release, we received a report about a little girl left naked in a cornfield near MLK. It was a case no one wanted, not even me. I was assigned because of my instincts and ability to get purrs to loosen up enough to tell the story. First question, did you do it, Jesse? No, man. But when his lips wouldn't speak, his eyes couldn't hide it. I had this feeling. Told him the little girl would never have children, never see out of her right eye, never be the same. My hands sweated as I gave stats on suicides and sex crimes. This time I said, I know you did it, Jesse, so just tell me the damn story. These were his words. About a year before I got out of prison, my uncle promised me a job driving his snow cone truck. Every day I would drive by that school playing the pedophile national anthem, Pop Goes the Weasel. Made me feel like puberty's Pied Piper. Then I saw her. 4'2", skirt blue, ooh. So I gave her extra stuff. You know, the old pervert's courtship, because I knew I had her. And one day I drove beside her, turned off my music and turned on the charm. Told her I had something special for her. She got in, I locked the door, got out of sight. By then, I was so damn horny. She was wearing a victim's uniform. You know that white shirt, blue skirt they wear in middle school, and I needed something real bad. You see, there's something special about that petite shape, cute face that's so sexy, especially when they're around 11 or 12. When I raised her skirt to pull down her panties, she turned to me and said, my grandfather does this on weekends. He plays with me this way. Damn, I thought she was fresh, but it turns out she was just sloppy seconds, and that pissed me off, so I jabbed in 1, 2 fingers, and you had little tease and even squirmed, and I beat her till she bled blood clots, and Jesse stopped and turned to me as my hand slowly turned to fist. Why'd you do that, Jesse? Why? You know he had the nerve to say, I'm sick, man, I can't help it. And even after I do some time, I'll probably do it again. And then he just grinned. Now, I know I was supposed to be professional, but what would you do? That's when I snapped. Kept seeing those ants crawl from between her bloody thighs, and I lost it. So I think about my own daughter, and I beat his ass for every nipple he kissed. For all those he made touch his filthy dick, and I tried to shove my piss up his ass. For all the silence he stole, and the thighs of those who will never grow old. What if she were your daughter or yours? Wouldn't you do what I did? Pop goes the weasel, bitch. It took 2 co-workers, a security guard, and a janitor to pull me off his ass. I stood back and cried because for the first time in my life, I was human. Her name was Maria. She committed suicide at 16, y'all. Her spirit still tugs at the sleeve of my soul every time I pick up a pen. I looked down at my fist, his face, my supervisor, and said, y'all ain't got to fire me, motherfuckers. I quit.